Hello everyone, welcome to Emerge IAS Mains Answer Writing Program Day 4. Today our question is from GS Paper 1. In GS Paper 1 it's from Geographical Features and Their Location and Disaster Management from these two topics. And this question is based on an article published on Hindustan Times on 6/7/2020. Name of that article is Evolve an Integrated Response to Floods. Evolve an Integrated Response to Floods. That's the name of that article. And this article talks about the need for an holistic flood management framework in India. And this question will be relevant to today's news, that is the flood situation in Kerala and Uttarakhand. This question is for 12.5 marks and this should consist 200 words. That's the word limit. Always mind the word limit while you're answering a question. So we are moving to the next part, that is an introduction part of this question. See, here the question is India needs to develop an integrated response to floods. Comment. So here it is a suggestion. The question itself, the statement that given in the question itself is suggestion. That is, India needs to develop an integrated response to the flood. So we have to explain the current situation and the current response plans that India had and what are the changes that are needed to be done. See, in the introduction part of this question, we have to explain about the flood situation in India. That is, here I mentioned that India is highly vulnerable to flooding in many regions because of its geography, and recently floods in the states of Kerala, Assam and Uttarakhand etc. have caused devastation of life and property of many. Apart from natural factors like heavy rain and incessant rainfall, also there are some man-made factors contribute to the flood in this region. Okay, here I first explained about the vulnerability of India to the flood and I stated the reason, that is the geography of our India. And also the flood causes devastation of life and property in many parts of India, and I also give some reasons for this flood. That is, the reasons may be natural reasons and man-made factors. The natural reasons are mainly due to the climate change that we know. So that due to the climate change and the monsoon, we have a heavy incessant rainfall here in this particular areas, and there are also some man-made factors. This is my introduction, and now we are going to the body part where we have explained about these two natural factors and man-made factors which causes the flood. Reason for increases in flood. So I have divided it into two, man-made factors and natural factors. In man-made factor we can add points like unplanned development and constructions, encroachment of waterways and wetland, lack of pre-disaster planning. See, here I added the point lack of pre-disaster planning. In the question itself there is a statement to form or develop a new plan, right? So I added the point that lack of pre-disaster planning and lack of drainage maintenance. That was mainly in the urban areas because the urban flooding is more devastating in India. And then poor waste management. And as a natural factor, as we know that the climate change is the main reason behind the change in rainfall pattern also. Then the change of topography in river basin. The change of topography in the river basin means the rivers are coming across sudden changes in the topography, like it's emerging from a mountain and it's suddenly it gets to plains like Ganga or Brahmaputra. See, these changes in the topography make the diversion of river channels, and these also are reasons for the flooding of the rivers. And the next reason is earthquake. We can also connect this with earthquake because earthquake cause the river channel diversion. Sometimes unexpected diversions may happen in large rivers, or that also causes flood in some areas. So these are some general points that we can add. You can also add some more points that causes flooding. Then we are going to the body, the next part of the body, that is I have added in point manner, that is unplanned development. Here I explained the point that I mentioned above. Unplanned development of urban area without a proper management of waste and construction activities. See, here the construction activities includes the buildings. We are building more concrete buildings and they were close to each other, and we are not considering about the waterways. and this causes the water to stay in a particular area, which causes the flood in urban regions. And the next point is converting the wetlands and rivers into human habitations, because for a long time there will be no rain or no running water in this area, so people started encroaching that area and build some human habitations there. And when the rain worsens and the rainfall increases, this place will get filled with the water, and that causes flood there. Then the next point is there is no adequate pre-disaster planning in India. The history of flood in India shows that disaster management has largely been post-flood recovery and relief. Yes, we know that the pre-disaster planning is an important thing, because we have to prepare for a disaster, to meet a disaster. After that occurs, it's very hard to recover that. We are always focusing on the recovery and relief. For example, in 2019, Odisha government's pre-disaster planning during a cyclone, that was an example for a pan-India level, because before the cyclone arrives, the government completely planned and they had a detailed pre-disaster planning, and that helped them in reducing the effect of the cyclone that time. So we have to have an adequate pre-disaster planning. Then climate change aids this situation worsen, that we know that the climate change is the main reason behind this, because the rainfall is unpredictable in unpredictable time, because most of the rainfall occurs during the monsoon itself, and the continuous rainfall causes flooding of many areas. And next we are going to the way forward, that is the need for the time. These are the situation that now happening in India, so we have to suggest some measures to overcome this situation, right? So I am adding this need of the time. Development of a pre-disaster plan. As I mentioned above, we have to develop a pre-disaster plan, but this pre-disaster plan must include hotspot mapping. Using a satellite information will help to develop an early warning system. So using the GIS, we have to develop a hotspot mapping, that is hotspot flood mapping for India, and mapping these flood prone areas will help us to develop an early warning system, and the early warning system will reduce the effects of the flood. And we should adopt an integrated approach, that is the statement mentioned in the question about the integrated plan, right? So the integrated approach in the sense we have two things, that a hard solution and the ecologically soft solution. We have to adopt both this. The hard solution includes the construction of dams, that is reservoirs, widening and deepening of river channels, and diversion of river channels for increasing the lag time to reach the basin. Construction of dams will able to collect more waters in it and reduce the chances of flooding. And widening and deepening of the river channel, that is an important thing. During the summer season, we have to work on that, widening the river and deepening of the river channel, then the river will be able to collect more water in it. And the diversion of river channel means we have to divert the way of the river that is flowing now. Then the diverting the way will cause the time increase in the time. It will increase, the river have to travel more area and it will increase the time, and at the basin there will be no flooding. If it take too long time, then the water will be automatically disposing to the sea, then the situation of flood will be reduced. And then ecologically soft solution, what are the soft solution? Including afforestation along the river channels. Then afforestation along the river channel means we have to plant some trees or bamboos and mangrove forest. So mangrove forest and bamboo will help in this situation, and restoring and manage the waterways. So that is the main reason we have to manage the waterways in a better way and preserve the wetland. Wetland preservation is also an important thing. Nowadays the wetlands are the place which is turning into big industrial area, something like that. So we have to preserve wetland. That will the wetlands are able to hold more water in them. So preserving the wetland, we will be able to reduce the effect of the flood. And the conclusion part, so these all about the body. So I just suggested some measures, and we are moving to the conclusion part. In the conclusion part, I have mentioned that government should frame a long-term integrated disaster management plan. A long-term plan. The plan must be a long-term plan. then only we will be able to control the effect of flood. And with the dynamic reservoir management, reservoir management is also a main reason behind the flood. For example, that happened in Kerala. So we have to have a dynamic reservoir management and an urban flood management strategy to control flood and reduce the loss of life and property in India. So in this question, everyone have their own individual points, right? So you may add your own points to this question, and you may alter some points also as per your wish. And here I am giving you an flood prone area map of India. If you don't know anything to write about and you don't remember the point, just remember the areas in this map that marked in green color. These areas are more prone to flood, and you can draw a rough map of India in your answer sheet, and you can mark these areas. These are the flood prone areas of India, and these places we have to develop disaster management plan or something like that you can add, and this will improve the scoring. Also people all can add the rough sketch of India map onto your answer for identifying these places. And that's all about this question. Add some more points to this question. Then I always stick to the word limits, that is 200 words. Okay, that's all about question. If you have any doubts, please ask me in the comment section, and expect this type of question with current relevance on coming days. Okay, then thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and to click the bell icon. Okay, then bye, have a great day. Bye.